I'm holding in my hand the result of 3 years of work and about 20 years of experience. Let me tell you what it's about and how you can get your hands on it too. Stay tuned. Okay, gang. Today I'm excited to make an announcement that I know some of you have been waiting for quite a while. My book has been released. Stay tuned until the end of this video and I'll provide you with a way to get the book a little cheaper that doesn't involve Amazon or any bookseller. The book is called One Drop of Poison: How One Bad Leader Can Slowly Kill Your Company. I've been talking about this book with people for a couple years now, and every time I mention the title, someone always says, "Oh, wow, yeah, I have definitely had a toxic leader who made my job miserable." It's a shame to hear that the experience is nearly universal, but it's reaffirming to know that I've written about something people will be able to relate to. The book is packed with a lot of good stuff, especially if you're a leader or an aspiring leader. It's broken into 4 parts. In part 1, I define the problem of toxicity. What is toxic leadership? How do leaders get this way? And how do they get it so wrong? It's here that I introduce you to my 10 toxic leader archetypes: the chess master, the peacock, the ladder climber, the micromanager, the invertebrate, the drill sergeant, the data freak, the bottom liner, the squirrel, and the graveyard whistler. These archetypes represent groups of behaviors I tend to see show up in leaders, even well-intentioned leaders, that end up being toxic to their teams. I'll be making short videos about each of these types on my channel over the coming weeks and months, so stay tuned. It's important to say here, though, that most leaders don't wake up every day wondering how they can destroy their teams that day. They're just doing what makes sense to them and acting on the incentives and cultures that they operate inside of. So if you identify with any of these archetypes, you may not be a bad person, you're just not realizing that your behavior is inadvertently damaging your teams. So next we cover what toxic cultures look like and what factors conspire to make them. Much of this behavior seems rooted in the fact that leaders overestimate the amount of control and understanding they have about their teams and the companies they're operating. So I spend some time dispelling those notions. In part 2, I cover the hidden costs that companies incur from getting this wrong. So many companies are hiring and promoting leaders who can deliver results, but are getting those results without any concern for the human beings who work for them. There are chapters to discuss high turnover, loss of innovation, loss of agility, and I mean the lowercase version, the ability to pivot quickly. And I wrap up part 2 with the sobering truth that these drops of poison make their ways into our homes, our health, our families, and collective society. The stakes are truly high on getting this right, and the costs are more than just financial. In part 3, we start getting into how to fix things, and we start with the individual leader. What actually is the job of a leader? What do good leaders believe and do? And importantly, how do they view the work their teams are doing? You may be surprised to know that a good amount of bad behavior from well-intentioned leaders stem from their worldview about the work their teams do. So there are chapters to discuss the leadership mindset, the mindset about the work, successful leadership behaviors, the awesome amount of power leaders have to create and destroy the world that the teams are operating inside of, and we revisit the archetypes from chapter 1 to provide tips on what to do if you identify with one of these archetypes, as well as how to manage up to one of them if you happen to work for one. Now, they say that the last thing a fish notices is the water. So in part 4, I talk about the water that we're all swimming in, specifically what policies and incentives are in place that drive a great deal of toxic leadership. I have chapters for both HR and finance because those two groups seem to have the most control over the water, so to speak. Now, I'm hopeful that you will find what's in the book both cathartic and actionable. It can be cathartic to see poor leadership described in the detail that I do it and learn that it's universal enough to have an archetype or 2 or 3. I'm also hopeful that new or existing leaders can spot themselves in these archetypes and learn how to become leaders that people want to follow. Okay, as promised, here's a way you can get the book for a lower price. Purchasing the book this way has the added bonus of supporting me and my work even more because we're both benefiting from cutting out the middleman. Unfortunately, this program only works for US addresses, so if you're international, just purchase the book through your normal channels. If you're going to buy the book from Amazon, please use the link in the description below, as it will give me a small additional commission without affecting your price at all, and I deeply appreciate your support. Maybe someday I'll make a video that talks about how expensive it is to write a book, but that's for another day. On the screen, I put up a QR code for you to use that will allow you to order the book directly from the book printer. This URL is also in the description below. If you were to buy the book from Amazon or another retailer, it is this company that prints the book and then sends it to them, who then sends it to you. When you buy it from the printer directly, they ship it to you instead of the reseller. And because there is no reseller involved, I can offer it for less and make a few extra dollars on the sale. It's a win-win. Regardless of how you get it, please remember to leave me a review on Amazon if you enjoyed the book, and spread the word to anyone you think would benefit from what's inside of it. There are so many of you that I want to thank for supporting me in this work. I just can't possibly do it here. But many of you are connected with me on LinkedIn, and I just want you to know how much your interest and support means to me. It's truly been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life to write this book. I look forward to continuing to share this knowledge with leaders and companies in the coming years. Working together, we can make companies that care about employees, and we can make work a place people want to be again. Thanks for watching.